Hello, dear friends. Today we're going to see a case of someone who is dealing with drug addiction and poor diet, both things that are causing health issues in the person. So this person has reached out to me asking for help, asking for to see the root causes of this drug addiction problem, where they come from, and what can we do about it. And he asked me to please help him balance his elements so he doesn't have this need, this feeling of need for drugs. And so I'm going to give you a little overview of what we did with his reprogramming, so that way you have an idea of how reprogramming can help a program like this. So while we were with the client, we only asked a few questions, and because we really don't need them to be present when we do the full reprogramming. We only need them to be there for the first part of it, and just to establish the connection, and then we can continue with the rest. Because it could take us about 10 to 15 hours to do the full reprogramming, so we don't need to be with the person for that long. So the first thing that we ask the client is, what is the reason to be reprogrammed? So the person needs to release the drug addiction program and wants to have a healthy lifestyle. And how can we help them release the need for drugs and to implant the interest for a healthy lifestyle? So that was the main reason. Then we ask some questions. What is a specific interest in healing? So this time is health related and also physical condition, because it's directly related. So what is the family status of the person? He's not married. His parents are alive, even though they were not the ones that requested the reprogramming. In other cases, parents have requested it, but in this case was the person directly. Their parents support him, but he did it himself. Doesn't have any brothers or sisters. And what is their job or occupation? This is a soap opera actor. That's his job. And that's all we need to know, just to have a little idea of what the person is doing, and to have just a little pattern to follow. Very good. So what is the main program? So this person had a very interesting main program. They're here to be an advocate, a spokesperson for drug abuse, meaning that they are going through this issue to learn how to get out of it and teach other people the way out to, and be an inspirational and motivational spokesperson for those that are dealing with drug addiction. And also the fact that he is a public person, is an actor, it will help, because it already has the credibility and a lot of followers and people that actually listen to what he's saying. So it's a great and beautiful program, and we really hope to help him get to that soon. What is the frequency of the main program? The frequency of this program is 632 Hertz. So that's usually something that we see in programs that have to do with networking, communication, relationships, linking one person to other. So it is perfect for this case. 632 Hertz for a spokesperson in drug abuse. It is a perfect number. And what is the frequency of the client right now? We asked myself, and we got 0. The person's frequency is on the floor because they're dealing with self-destruction right now. They're still active in the drug use, and so the frequency is 0. So we asked herself immediately to balance the frequency of the client, to make it the same or pair it with the program. That way they're both at 632 Hertz. That's the first thing we do, so the client can start feeling, again, connected to the program, and starts connecting to that purpose that he needs to go and do. So it starts to make sense why he's dealing with this. And the fact that he came himself to ask for help, it is already like the first step towards the path that he has selected. It's towards the path to the main program. So it's actually perfect timing. Before we do the balancing of the main program that comes right after this, we just ask myself if there are any soul family members that the client has not met yet, just in case there's something to heal there, and he doesn't have anyone that he has not met yet. He already met the ones that he had to meet. Are there any special requests from High Self in balancing the program? Yes, High Self requested to add elements of love to the heart of the client to help with the drug release program, with a drug release program, which makes sense because drug abuse is usually linked to lack of love. So we're going to add elements of love to the heart of this person, so they feel loved, and it's their own love. It's not like someone else. They will feel love within themselves, and that will help with the release of the drug abuse program. Very good. So the next part of this will be integrating the program, which I already did, and usually this is the part that it takes about 4 hours just for the program. I found out what the numbers are for the activating this program that I already told you about, the spokesperson. So he needs all these numbers of elements in the variable elements, and needs to have all these elements in the static element. So once I have balanced them, I go ahead and I integrate one by one of these elements to make sure that there are no imbalances. There were things to heal in the integration of each one of them, until I finally got here. It took me about a day to do all this. And so most of the things were like lack of elements that he was missing in the integration. Usually I had to add elements of love in the integration in most of them, so they could actually work together. And any other things were just other elements that were metaphysical elements. So once we do that, we do the same thing with the elements of the cells and the memory and the body and brain, and I proceed to integrate all of those. And after that, at the end of the integration, we move on the post-healing section. What do we see there? Very interesting what we found out. So we asked High Self if there were any discordant energies to heal. And of course there are. Most of us have discordant energies to heal. And he led us to the chart of characters where we see the groups of people in our life. And in this case, he had 3 main groups of people that were causing imbalances in his elements. The first group was his parents, mother and father. And there he had 5 discordant energies to heal. These 5 discordant energies to heal, we only have 4 options for discordant energies, which could be air, fire, earth, or water. That means that in the relationship with one of those groups of people, he recorded an imbalance of one of these elements. And in the case of the parents, he had 4 discordant energies of fire and 1 of water. This means, it takes me to believe that there was a lot of action that caused him to record that imbalance, possibly physical punishment of physical injury that made him record discordant energy. Something that was done physically, that because the imbalance was caused on fire, it made him record that imbalance. And then in the case of water, it usually has to be with feelings, emotions. So probably he got, due to all this that he was dealing with physically, ended up recording this imbalance in the emotional part. So there we have 5. Then, and the next group to heal was a group outside of the friends of work. So it was a group of friends, but doesn't have to do with friends of work or friends from education. So this takes me to believe that it could be, any other kind of friends. And there he recorded 4 discordant energies of water, emotional. So immediately I understood this probably was a relationship, a girlfriend. And High Self confirmed, yes, it had to do with a girlfriend. 4 times he recorded an imbalance in the element of water. So probably this was a very important relationship for him, where things didn't work out, and he got his feelings hurt, and they had to split up, and it caused him a deep, deep depression. And 4 times he recorded imbalances in the element of water. The next group to heal was the group of marriage. So that indicates that he's married to another person that is not this girlfriend. And in this case, he had 1 of fire, 1 imbalance in the element of fire, and 2 times he had a discordant energy of air, and 1 time water. So that indicates, that there was an action where that he recorded maybe a fight, it got physical, something was an injury, something ended an accident, or something happened physically where he recorded that discordance in the element of fire. And then same thing with the water, as we just saw, there was an imbalance in the emotional aspect, and he recorded it as an imbalance of the water element. And the fact that there are 2 discordant energies of air lets me to believe that he had been thinking, something that he was thinking, his thoughts led him to record 2 times this discordant energy of fire, meaning that probably these issues that he's having are only in his mind, or something that he's imagining, something that he thinks that is happening, something that he believes, or the way that he perceives something. Maybe it's the way that the wife acts makes him remember another person, or something like that is causing him to record discordances in the element of air, which is thoughts, ideas. So it's not really materially happening, it's something that is in his thoughts. So what we proceed to do, because most of the problems come from here, this is very important, we have to clean the discordant energies in order to heal. So, but we can't heal them all at once because that could be shocking for the body. So we create a little calendar where we set up 3 energies to heal per day. And he has around 13, 14, so in 4 or 5 days, he'll be done with the healing. And once we have finally healed all this, we apply our boundaries. That way, whenever he's in front of a new situation that could cause an imbalance, he will have a filter that will allow him to receive this first, and then he will process it in a balanced way instead of recording another discordant energy. This filter is very important because we no longer are victims of things that happen. We are protected. So these elements that act as a filter, they receive all these imbalances, and then we just receive the actual information. It's like, is it really something that I have to record, or can I negotiate and deal with it and be done with it and move on to the next thing? So that's what we're doing in reprogramming. After we do all this, we go ahead and remove the blockages and remove the old conditioning ideas and all those things that we don't need anymore, ideas and patterns and thoughts that we don't need. All those get removed. So we have conflicting ideas, conflicting thoughts, and any kinds of elements of the old order, things that are already obsolete we don't need, and then we proceed to implant the new order ideas, the things from the new frequencies that are coming in, and this allows us to record the new frequencies instead of dealing with the old ones. And to end, we just make sure that there are no negative aspects in the programs, and to make sure that he didn't have any, and his program was perfect, there has no negative aspects in it. And to end with everything, we do the integration of the qualities. In reprogramming, we don't believe in individual qualities. We believe that we're one big integral element. So instead of having the qualities individually implanted, we just ask for all that we are, like human beings, the original idea of human being, to be integrated and to be elevated so we can receive the most of those qualities that were there in the moment of creation. And that's all we do. After that, we obviously follow up with the client to make sure that how they're doing, and we're going to be following very close with this person because he's in a very beautiful program, and we want to make sure that he gets there, and we follow up with everyone anyways to make sure that they get where they want to go. And this is so amazing for someone that is dealing with a drug addiction program, because they feel lost, but once they find out they have such a beautiful purpose, it's something that is going to help others, and they start to feel motivated. There is a reason now. There is a reason why to stop this and to show others that you can do it. So there is something more than just your circumstances. Now there is something that is yours. No one can take that away from you. It's your purpose. It's what you know. You know this well. You're living it. So it feels really good to know your purpose and to just start heading that direction. And we're so happy that we're able to help this person in that way. And so hopefully we can help many other people too. And hopefully you can do that too. Once you become a consultant, you can do the same thing. Anyone who has access to a program can be doing these healings as well. Well, guys, thank you. I appreciate it, and good luck. We'll talk soon. Thank you.